Aang versus Edward
Have you heard?
Elric. Ooh, Full Metal versus Avatar. Ooh, I do know both of these guys. Ooh, okay. Interesting. All right. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who am I even rooting for in this? Who am I even rooting for in this? So for context, I have seen all of the original Avatar. I have recorded those reactions. I do want to post them eventually. I know I haven't gone around. I know editing in me is like crazy, but I had some attempts like a year ago, but they kept getting blocked. Gotta try a few things. We'll see. I'll try my best. I will try my best. But that's not here nor there. And then we watched Full Metal on stream. I did vibe both series. I do vibe both characters. I liked. I don't know. They were both good shows. I did like that. Avatar was one of those like kid shows that it did a lot while still like being like a kid show, like able to be aired on Nickelodeon. um I wouldn't necessarily say it was like held back a lot, but maybe just a little bit at times. While Full Metal was like a full on uh like mature things. I don't think I'm gonna crazily root for either of them. Honestly, I'm like I like them both. If I had to absolutely had to pick, I I'm leaning just ever so slightly, I think, towards Aang. But I don't know. I like Edward as well, so that's why. But who do I think is gonna win? Who do I think is gonna win? Who is gonna take home this death battle? I think it's going to be. I actually was about to say Edward, but I think I'm gonna switch. I think I'm gonna go Aang. I think I'm gonna go Aang. I think they're gonna really like dive into like the stats on this one here, and it's gonna just the avatar with all like the bendings is gonna just be a little too much. I don't necessarily hope I'm wrong or hope I'm right. Edward is doing is like high quality earth bending. And Aang has 3 under bending, so maybe I don't know, but alchemy is something. I think I'm gonna pick Aang, but I would be insanely shocked if they gave it to Edward. At least right now, we're gonna have to see. I've been talking this whole time with the hymns thing next to me because they're spot. I don't know. Like the only reason I know what hymns are is because I've gone ads before and other creators have been sponsored by them, but that's a little that's something. That is what it is. I just sent the link. I'm assuming this is all safe and good because I have not seen The Legend of Korra at all yet. I've not seen any of the live action stuff. Like the first movie or like the series or anything. Starting off the first 30 seconds, but they gave him the bag. They had to have.
The elements make up every aspect of the world we live in, and no average person can tame them.
But somehow these kids can master them with a vengeance.
Like Aang, the Avatar.
And Edward Elric, the Full Metal Alchemist. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Death battle!
Water. Earth. Fire. Air.
Heart.
Once the 4 nations lived in harmony, and some of their citizens could even learn to bend their nation's element. But only the Avatar could master all four, and
Full
it's their
Metal
duty to
Alchemist.
protect the balance between these nations.
And since there's always gotta be an Avatar around, a new one is born whenever the last one dies.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Attempting to conquer the other three nations, the Avatar would inevitably be their greatest obstacle.
Man, they'd even go after a kid?
Living among the air nomads, Aang was
Among Us! Sorry. Height, we got, he 4'6". We don't know the weight. He is 12. Biological age. DOD age is 66. He's the 182nd Avatar. He co-founded the United Republic. And the alliances are Kuzone, Twinkle, aliases. Sorry, I'm dumb. Kuzone and Twinkle Toes, and his favorite food is egg custard tart.
an energetic and dutiful 12 years old when he learned of his destiny. He was the newest incarnation of the Avatar.
But he totally
The
wussed
Avatar.
out, ran away from home, and got frozen in ice for 100 years. What the hell? That's not what I'd do if I found out I was an awesome elemental badass. I'd definitely find a way to make money off that.
Boomstick, he's 12. But running away actually saved his life, as the Fire Nation knew the next Avatar would be an air nomad and slaughtered them all in a
Yeah, they
horrific
kinda
surprise
cooked him.
attack.
But the poor kid wouldn't be stuck in ice forever. He was eventually rescued by some new friends and began his quest to learn the other elements and save the world. And as an air nomad, he can really bend the wind to his will.
He can use air bending to create whirlwinds and tornadoes or slice through solid stone.
And he can fly. Whee!
Well, it's not exactly flying, Boomstick. What he actually does is manipulate the air currents to keep aloft. That's why he carries a glider, complete with snacks.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Whatever. If it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Or I guess flying avatar guy.
But ducks actually can fly. Anyway, Aang can use air in pretty much every aspect
Air
of his
bending,
life.
water
like for shields,
bending,
increasing his speed,
earth
improving
bending.
agility, adjusting his body temperature, and even focusing his breath to use as an attack.
After he learned water bending
got
from
fire
Baku and
bending.
Katara, Aang can make whips, knives,
And
and
shoot
literal
the
tsunamis.
Oh, yeah, the
Maybe I can do
Avatar
that too.
state.
Just give me a pool and watch this cannonball fly. Does that mean I'm a waterbender?
That might be the X
Waterbenders
Factor.
can also manipulate steam and ice.
Just like how I, the great waterbender Boomstick the Wet, will use my powers to swim through this frozen block.
You what?
Yep. Waterbending 101. You can be jealous.
Oh wow, I'm just bursting with envy.
Bending powers activate! Ah! Ha! Success!
Like airbending, waterbending requires a nearby source of water to use, like a pond or a filled bottle. The same goes for earthbending, which Aang learned from his mentor Toph.
Earthbending is all about throwing rocks at people, and a bunch of other cool stuff, like making walls and earthquakes and causing the ground to swallow you up. Which is kinda creepy, actually.
Last but certainly not least, Aang learned the art of firebending from his longtime
Zuko.
rival, Prince Zuko. Unlike the other arts, firebenders can actually create fire to use at will.
Firebending is so goddamn powerful. It's even got the deadliest bending technique of all, shooting lightning.
Well, only the most advanced firebenders can cast lightning, which is usually an instant kill move. While Aang never learned the move itself, he has learned how to redirect it through his body.
But even after learning the 4 elements, Aang got to meet one last master bender.
Who taught him the art of manipulating a person's life energy, the purest form of bending.
It's super dangerous though, and one mistake could tear up Aang's soul.
And with it, Aang defeated the Fire Lord and brought peace to the world at large.
Well, with that and with his super form, the Avatar State.
In the Avatar state, Aang's bending abilities grow immensely powerful. This is because
I'm feeling Aang more and
draw on the
more.
power and wisdom of all previous Avatar incarnations. Though it is extremely risky, as dying while in the Avatar state ends the cycle of reincarnation permanently.
Why would he care if he's dead anyway? Whatever, the coolest thing about the Avatar state is it makes you glow, like this. Behold!
How are you doing that?
Oh, I drank a bunch of glow sticks.
You need to go to the doctor. Like right now.
My liver's processed way worse than this.
Well, with or without the Avatar state, Aang is plenty powerful. He has the ability to move gigantic stone columns and even carve canyons around an entire city.
Not only has he survived hits from earthbending kings and massive explosions, he threw this gigantic column of rock at the Fire Lord.
To get the column's mass, we compared Aang's height against it and determined it must weigh 9,500 tons.
I knew they were gonna go in with the stat. I think Aang is for sure winning this. We'll see what they got. Maybe we'll do the same with Edward as well. But what my favorite bending? I think I remember, cause there was always like like you had the the water, like with, and if you could go crazy with it, you could go with the blood, and then the earth, if you go crazy, you could bend metal, and then a light or fire, if you go crazy, you gotta get like lightning. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of vibed. You know, without it being like, you know, them being the ops, firebending was pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I said something different though. I feel like there's a reason I like earth or fire, or I mean water. I mean, pick earth, and yeah, earth was pretty cool as well. That would be pretty. Maybe I did like earth, but I don't know. I've always like, when it comes to elemental stuff, I always like fire. Yeah.
Aang's super fast too. With airbending, he can run on water.
Which, given his size, requires a movement speed of well over 67 miles per hour.
They're really giving him the
to block a
feats.
giant column-destroying explosive attack from the best-named character on the show, Combustion Man!
Combustion
Man.
Man!
He could redirect lightning from the
I
Fire
forgot
Lord himself.
Combustion Man.
Taking into account the distance between them and how far Aang's arm had to move to catch the lightning, he would have to react at least 155 times faster than
Oh
sound.
man.
He is pretty unused to violence, though. I mean, he's a vegetarian.
They are
pacifist
giving
for
him the
crying out
respect.
loud. But while he may seem like just a kid, Aang still saved the world and led it into a peaceful future. To him, bending is elementary.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Honestly, they were really kind of going in, I hate light reaction. Light react, yeah, they do kind of, like, really, like, boost it. That was a little nut. I'm not gonna lie. I think Aang is the leader right now. But yeah, definitely, especially with the like that, the reaction and the strength feats. I'll like, that's gonna be something. I think they're gonna. Aang's gonna win this. We'll see. Let's see what they got with
Alchemists of
Edward,
old once tried to turn lead
the
into
Twilight
gold
guy.
with not great results. But in the country of Amestris, the ancient science of alchemy is actually possible by using the Earth's natural energy to reshape the molecular structure of various objects.
And by drawing a circle thingy.
A transmutation circle,
A
which most alchemists use, except
No, a
for
fun
the
piece of
youthful
trivia,
prodigy,
sure.
Edward Elric.
Oh, what a little badass.
He's 4'8", so he's got 2 inches on Aang. He's also got hair. Height plus hair. Oh, is 5. So he's got, even with that, is 5. No weight. He's 18. Codename Full Metal. State alchemist. Agnostic, and dislikes milk and bread crusts. Interesting. Ed got told as a show.
He's a bit touchy about his size.
Hey, if I lost my mom like he did, I'd get mad at the little stuff too. But Ed and his brother Alphonse figured they could bring her back with alchemy. So they went for it, but things went south real fast. You know how people say they'd give an arm and a leg for something? Well, Ed literally did, and poor Al lost his whole body. Luckily, Ed managed to stick his brother's soul in a suit of armor. But still, yikes.
This horrible experience has forever marked the two brothers. No one is meant to transmute the human soul, and the boys were lucky just to escape with their lives.
But he got something good out of it, like super secret knowledge, including how to do alchemy without a circle thingy. He just has to clap instead. So, worth it?
With these new abilities, Ed and Alphonse began their quest to restore their bodies. Specifically, they sought the incredible power of a Philosopher's Stone, believing it to be their only chance. Eventually, Ed joined the military, and thanks to his amazing potential, he was named by the Fuhrer the Full Metal Alchemist.
What? Adolf Hitler?
Nah, it's just Bradley. He's okay.
Mine as well. I'm kidding.
Also, since Ed lost a couple limbs, he got them replaced with automail, kinda like my leg.
Automail is made from incredibly durable metal, ranging from his original steel one, to a gas-powered one, to his best version consisting of a mix of aluminum and carbon.
Remember what those kids went through. Yeah, with the
Ed's automail limbs
giving up
function
his
just
brother
like
and
normal
like, that
ones.
is crazy.
He can even reshape his arm as a weapon.
So he can turn it into swords and saws and stuff, increase its durability by hardening its makeup, or turn it into an umbrella. Ah, truly a limb of many talents.
But at the end of the day, Ed's true talent lies not in sword fighting or umbrella holding, but the art of alchemy.
He can do all sorts of crazy things with all the elements. He can basically make anything he wants, like spears and shields.
So long as he follows the rule of equivalent exchange. Anything created with alchemy must have a source of equal value, and cannot be made fundamentally different. For example, lead can be molded into a statue, but it cannot be turned into water. Other than that, there are three principles needed to use alchemy well. Comprehension,
Which means you gotta understand what the thing you're using is made of.
destruction,
Breaking stuff down.
and reconstruction.
Putting stuff back together.
Ed is only limited by the materials at hand and his imagination. At his full potential, he can do almost anything. He can purify water, create ammonium gas from ammonium nitrate, repair entire houses, and transform a gun into a trumpet.
Don't you ever try and do that with any of my guns. Anyway, Ed's also learned destruction alchemy, which does exactly what you think it does, make a big ol' kaboom. Ed's used it to destroy stuff like automail, but it can also be used to explode people's heads.
Oh.
So, using destruction alchemy, Ed should be able to
Would
destroy
he do
something
that,
like
though?
this on a molecular level.
Ha! Or you could just do that.
Anyway, with all of his abilities, Ed has done some incredibly impressive things.
Not only has he blocked gunfire from a Gatling gun after it started firing, he's dodged a pistol
Stop
from
the
nearly
train.
point-blank range, and his automail arm even took a bite from a lion-headed chimera. It was totally fine.
Assuming this chimera has a similar bite force to that of a real lion, that means Ed's arm stood up to a force of 1,000 pounds per square inch.
He's created a gigantic cannon and then survived that cannon exploding while he was standing on it. And then he survived being on top of a huge boulder exploding too.
We can measure the boulder's explosion against Ed's size to get an approximate energy output. With a radius of 36 feet, this blast must have been equivalent to over
They are doing their
100
thing with
tons of
the
TNT.
stats for
How's that
him
for
though.
equivalent exchange, bitches. He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown considerable strength when using alchemy.
Like when he created a gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone, because it turns out those things are really, really messed up.
Right, Philosopher's Stones are extremely powerful and can be used in many different ways. Kimberly the Crimson Lotus Alchemist, for example, used one to create a massive explosion equal to 157 kilotons of TNT. However, it turns out that these stones are composed of imprisoned human souls. So Ed and Al vowed to avoid them on principle. Although Ed can boost his alchemic power in a similar manner by drawing on his own life force, increasing his potential at the cost of shortening his lifespan. But that's what Ed ultimately had to learn, what it truly means to let something go. and so he found another way to revive Al's body, sacrificing his own power for the sake of family.
Aw, what a nice
Same.
guy. But all in all, so long as Ed knows what he's trying to transmute, he's an amazing force to be reckoned with.
Now let's go home. Together.
All right, the
I'm gonna use both these characters very heavily against killing, you know, massive parts of their character. Yeah, that is interesting because, you know, the death battle, this is gonna be to the death, unless they make an exception for this. But probably not. Aang versus Edward here. They had some interesting stats. I think this is gonna be a decent showing from the two, but my gut feeling is still going Aang. I felt it more during his stats that they did seem to they have an energy when they were at the end there. Like I just felt that vibes that I was feeling. They had it a little bit with Edward, but I almost felt like I don't know. It felt like they were saying it to almost boost him a bit. Not that they were incorrect or anything, but I felt it differently during Aang. I just felt it differently. Punch to Ed's gut. He's only slightly taller than 12-year-old. Yeah, you're right. Only slightly. And as far as who I want, I feel kind of similar about both of these guys. I like them. They're good main characters. I would be alright with either of them winning. Very, very slight rooting. If you made me choose, I think I'd pick Aang. I don't like. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Bets are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, thanks to Blue Apron, I've become a food vendor.
Blue Apron
By now, you've
and
probably heard of
him.
Blue Apron,
They
the
got
leading meal kit
two.
delivery service in the U.S.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, this is the older style.
Sorry, Momo. You're just too little.
Little! Who are you calling a pig, you stupid hairless kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
I should have known. It's because he said called little. Oh. Oh. Oh.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and,
I'm still growing!
now I gotcha.
And then, oh, it was a fake.
Ah! Oh no! I'm sorry!
A classic misdirection. That's Edward Elric! Ha!
Ooh.
Damn it!
Low key for I feel like Edward's doing better right now,
How's this for small?
but he's probably trying the most, I guess, because he's a little angry. Ooh.
What kind of alchemy is that?
Okay, no more clappy magic.
Oh. No more clappy magic. Oh. They both survived. The cabbages! No!
I won't lose you again.
Oh. Looks like an Undertale character.
There you are!
Oh, the stick.
Whew. Can't believe that worked.
The stick. Ooh, wow. We got the Avatar state.
This ends now.
At least I'm taller than you.
Oh.
No choice.
Well, at least the fight wasn't short. Did he say a little angry? The fight started because of a misunderstanding. Aang just killed him straight up. I was not expecting that, but maybe he went a little off in the Avatar state mode. Though, Edward seemed like the more angry one. If anyone was gonna lose themselves, I was thinking Ed. So, and I don't know. During it, at least at first, Ed seemed like he was like if you kept score, it seemed like he was leading. But yeah, no, I kind of figured that was gonna go that way. Not even an accident, just killed. That was a little crazy. Yeah, totally in character for sure. Yeah, maybe taking little liberties to get to the result, but yeah, I got W Aang. He's 1-0 in Death Battle. We'll see later. Will it make it 2-0?
Looks like Ed didn't have a leg to stand on. Or arm, I guess.
Ed may have been more gifted and inventive, and he certainly had more combat experience. But Aang's bending abilities were far more versatile and readily available than combat alchemy.
Yeah, it had cool stuff like
the voice acting was pretty good. Aang's voice was a little off, but I thought Edward was all right for not being actually Edward.
But Aang was fast enough to react to lightning, which is way faster than dodging a measly bullet.
Recall how Ed survived an explosion that destroyed most of a 10-story building. By examining the size of the building and thus the volume of the conical explosion, this blast must have equaled about 30 kilotons of TNT.
That's cool, but Aang did way more when he carved up a circle around that city in Avatar state.
The force to blast such a huge ravine around the city of Yudao was a massive undertaking. By measuring the width, length, and depth of the affected area compared to the size of the city, we found it would take almost 160 kilotons of TNT to pull that off.
Actually, Aang had the better set there.
So Aang definitely had the stuff to crush Ed's automail arm and the rest of him.
Granted, Ed could reach this sort of power by sacrificing his life force. Remember Kimbley's explosion, the one empowered by a Philosopher's Stone, a blast worth 157 kilotons of TNT? That's almost identical to Aang's feat, and theoretically, Ed could have been capable of this level of power. Theoretically. However, a Philosopher's Stone uses many souls, while Ed could only draw from his one. Not to mention, drawing from his own life force meant his power-up had a very short and dangerous duration limit compared to the Avatar state, which has no such limit. But even so, Ed's tactics and creativity kept him in the fight, yet the Avatar's speed, power, and versatility was too much for him. Aang may be a pacifist in canon and would hardly kill anyone, but unleashing his full power is a sight to behold.
Just when Ed thought he had the hang of it, he alchemist the mark.
The hang of it,
the winner
alchemist.
is Avatar Aang.
Thanks for watching
W
this episode of
Aang.
Death Battle. If you want the battle,
W Death Battle, W Aang, W Edward too. Showing. One thing I wish Death Battle did more. Just going with the feeling. I wish the character personality were crucial to the fights, like per se moral wise. Yeah, sometimes like. It is a little out of character at times. Start doing that more. Trying to think of good characters. I think it's better just to let him go out for the sake of entertainment. Yeah, at least they acknowledge it. I really didn't feel this one. I had no dog in the fight. I didn't have a significant. It was like I didn't have a dog in the fight, but it was like a cool matchup. I kind of liked the matchup, but I just like both the characters. Lads, we are back with another death battle. This one is the most recent one. We have Avatar's Aang versus Genshin Impact's Traveler. Now, I just watched the Aang versus Edward today. That was a good one, and they did respect for the Aang as well. I've seen Avatar, the first the first series, whatever they got going on now. I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen Legend of Korra. But I've seen the first Avatar, and I like Aang. Genshin Impact, I only played just a very little bit. But it has that, Hoyo versus Riz, and I definitely, like what they got going on over there. I'm a big Honkai fan, so, I maybe both of the Travelers a little bit. I don't entirely 100% know the Traveler, but, but yeah, it's cool. But yeah, interesting matchup. It's hard not to pick against Aang right now because he had a pretty good showing. But I don't know. I could see the Hoyo versus the Traveler being kind of crazy. So, I'm not sure. So, as far as who I'm rooting for, I mean, for character wise, I think, of course, I know Aang more than Traveler, but there is something there's a little bit of me, like, I think it's the like I said, the Hoyo fan, that would, like, this support, in that regard. I love for them if they got a Honkai character in like one of these. That would be kind of sick. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be pulling for Aang just a little bit, and then I actually do think right now Aang is gonna win. Just because they really seem to riz his stats, and really seem to do him justice. Now, will they do that the same trial? I guess we'll have to see. That's our power, experience, speed, and elements. Ooh, okay. They do like their ties, as I was saying, but elements, I feel like, and I have to see what Traveler's about, but I feel like that's gotta go to Aang with the Avatar stuff. I'm gonna say they tie experience. I'm gonna say they tie experience. Elements is going to Aang. I'm gonna say power goes to Traveler and speed goes to Aang. I'm gonna say Aang wins it. That's my early prediction. I may change after I see some things, but the initial prediction of only really knowing about Aang's game more than Trailblazer, or not Trailblazer, Traveler. I'm getting them mixed up now. I'm gonna go 2. Was that like 2 and 1.5? No, 2.5 to 1.5. Something like that. I think it leans Aang just a little bit, and I'm also gonna slightly root, not slightly, a little bit more so root for Aang than Trailblazer. Or I keep saying the wrong name. The Traveler, but not really like I'd be a little happy if Traveler won. I'd be okay with that. If it was Honkai, it'd be a different story. I actually might root for Traveler, but since the Genshin, less of a game I'm familiar with. I'm gonna go Aang. I think Aang is gonna win a little bit. But are we ready? Are we ready for this? We ready? We ready? We ready for ya? We ready? We ready? Oh my! I forgot they did a full-on animation for that first one.
Will come out on top in this elemental battle.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, united by a master of the elements, the Avatar.
This avatar reincarnated as different people for centuries, all with their own struggles. And man, was that true for our boy Aang.
Not at first, of course, thanks to his master and guardian, Gyatso.
As a cheeky little air nomad, Aang traveled the world causing shenanigans, all while learning to control the winds with airbending.
Based on the real-life martial art Bagua Zhang, airbending is the most spiritual of the four bending styles, focusing on evading and diverting attacks through circular motions. With even the smallest movement, Aang can create tornadoes, run like the wind, and block hypersonic explosions.
The perfect style for a twinkle-toed goofball like Aang. He even invented his own technique, the air scooter.
We got Avatar Aang at 112, but biologically 12. Still 4'6". Air Nomad of the Southern Air Temple. Co-founder of the United Republic of Nations. A master of penguin sledding and koi surfing. 7-year difference between this one and the last one.
How does he not fall off that thing?
Add in a glider staff for flight, and the sky was the limit. But you know how it goes. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Their conquest spread, war was inevitable, and Aang was the only one who could save the world.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with all that, and being forcibly separated from Gyatso. He was just a kid, so he froze up. Like, literally, he accidentally froze himself and his adorable Sky Bison Appa for 100 years.
Until he was awakened by the Water Tribe siblings Katara and Sokka. Time wasn't kind to Aang's people. With no avatar to keep balance, the Airbenders, Aang's entire culture, were wiped out by the Fire Nation.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. But Aang took the wake-up call to heart.
As the Avatar, it's Aang's duty to understand the world's people, learning their cultures, their sadness, joy, and humanity.
And what better way to do that than learning how they kick ass?
From the Northern Water Tribe and his twin crush, Aang learned waterbending. Themed around fluid Tai Chi movements, this style controls liquid in all forms to freeze targets, create water whips, and even cut through steel.
Learning earthbending was way tougher, but Aang's friend Toph taught him to stop being a wimpy pushover. Now he can armor himself in stone, move the terrain of entire cities, and fight blind with a sonar-style seismic.
Well, we got so you are the air bending. We got all this. Eighth bending got these. Fire bending got these, and then water bending, and then we got the energy bending. I definitely got a little. He's got somewhere.
Makes sense.
He's got
Earthbending
he's
is themed
got
around
some.
the steady stances of Hung Quan Kung Fu, waiting for the right moment to strike head on.
There was a lot to learn, but even with the world at stake and this moody hothead on his tail, Aang had fun doing it. Who could forget the adventures penguin sledding, going through the bending bayous, and living in Ba Sing Se, the city where no wars ever happened.
No wars
Across
ever
his journey,
happened.
one power eluded Aang, the Avatar state, an enhanced mode of being that came to him in moments of peril.
Sure, if Aang dies in it, the Avatar cycle ends permanently, but who cares when it gives you enough power to wipe out a whole Navy fleet?
Come on, Boomstick. The Avatar state is more than just a power amp.
Jocelyn, how long have you been standing there?
I've been here the whole time. I lurk where all Avatar talk is. Aang gains the knowledge and experience of all previous Avatars, greatly expanding his bending options.
Experience
Lava
of
bending
all.
from Avatar Roku, and even more are theoretically available to him through their memories.
Oh, I get it. You can't
Maybe
just
he does
grind
get
your way to
experience.
controlling the Avatar state.
Right. If Aang wanted to stop Fire Lord Ozai, he needed something else.
He needed onion banana juice.
Yeah, technically, I suppose. Gross.
Specifically, Aang sought the guidance of Guru Pati. Mastering his power meant clearing his chakras, emptying his mind of earthly attachments. Seems simple, but this also meant rejecting his feelings for Katara, the person he loved most.
When he had to choose between the world or the girl, Aang followed his heart and it didn't end well.
He got better. Aang was determined to understand the world's people, even the enemy Fire Nation. Something he accomplished thanks to the redeemed Prince Zuko, the Sun Warriors.
And these two honkin' dragons! Aang was scared of firebending, but it's totally awesome. It's not just about burning and blowing shit up. Okay, well it is, but there's so much more to it.
Formed from the explosive movements of Shaolin Kung Fu, firebending controls all manner of heat. And through the teachings of fire and water, he can redirect lightning bending, a burst of atmospheric discharge shot at over 200,000 miles per hour.
Iroh, the best uncle ever, used his
Iroh!
techniques to redirect natural lightning. So, you know it's the real deal. Not crazy enough? At his peak, Aang surpassed benders who could throw buildings, melt stone, and hold up this gigantic library solo. Whooping Ozai's butt should be no problem, right?
Not exactly. You see, the air nomads were pacifists who believed in the value of life above all. Being the last airbender, Aang didn't think his people were truly gone unless he went back on their teachings, meaning he really didn't want to kill Ozai.
So, what, he's just a coward now? Mr. Firelord is about to burn down the entire Earth Kingdom!
Not at all. Are you even listening? Aang was simply at odds with what he wanted and what the world expected, so he needed to make a choice.
Right. In his greatest challenge yet, Aang discovered his true self, making his spirit unbendable and finally mastering the Avatar state.
Making him as strong as avatars who could cause hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions!
Or in Avatar Kyoshi's case, a new island. As in, she broke off nearly 30 square miles of a peninsula to form a new landmass. But to defeat Ozai, Aang needed one final element, something few avatars had bent before: energy bending.
Not the easiest thing to do, but Aang totally overwhelmed Ozai, severing the tyrant's connection to fire and stopping his invasion, all while keeping his no-kill run intact. The ultimate FU to this warlord's ideology.
Now that the Fire Nation had cooled off,
Without naval fleet.
for all his
Cooled
doubts,
off.
Aang fulfilled the Avatar's destiny and then some. And he did it in a way that was true to who he was.
Because before being the Avatar, or even an airbender, the greatest thing he could ever be was himself. All in a day's work for a free, fun-loving kid.
Alright. You think Aang should have killed him? Nah, I like what he did. I respect the no killing, but still like the energy bend type of I like the decision. I agree with the method. So we got some good stuff. I think I honestly I think they may have went a little harder on the on the first one 7 years ago with against Edward. I feel like there was more in that, at least for like numbers at the end. Maybe they just mentioned those or just kept it just to like powers or stuff. I don't know, but that I thought that was pretty good. Thing about that, I'm leaning a little bit towards that maybe Aang's gonna get experience with like the whole like when they say stuff like that and then it's like, well, actually this is a tie. Actually, it's because I don't know. I could be right in the first, but I think I'm leaning a little more experience towards for Aang. But what I really want to see is Traveler. Give me the stats on Traveler. It's gonna make me give me a good prediction and the stats on that. So yeah, Traveler's a pacifist that won't merc bounties. Don't think. Oh, so he's a pacifist. Pacifist too. Let's see.
The battle is coming up thanks to this episode's sponsor, DraftKings Casino.
DraftKings!
From the casino, Lightning Link is available.
Win some money,
online
bet on the
for
Steelers, big
right on
truzz.
DraftKings Casino.
Okay,
If you're
don't
new,
do that.
you
I'm not
get
responsible.
$5
If you
1,000 spins.
Add extra barbecue sauce.
Ad Astra Abassas. Welcome to Tevat, a mysterious land governed by godly archons that drew the eye of someone beyond the stars, Ether.
AKA the Traveler, who escaped his dying world with his sister Lumine.
Sure, he wasn't sponsored by Genshin. Yeah, that's kind of sometimes he sponsored their own characters. Really, Aether. His name is Aether, son of fire. Members of Adventurers deal affiliations, Knights of Benny.
in search of the flowers that bloomed on their lost home, only to crash land, awaken to an apocalypse, and get cubed by this jerk.
Separated from his sister, Aether awoke, again, in a new, less apocalyptic age, and fished up his own pathetic pet pixie, Paimon.
Yeah, she makes for good emergency food. With his new guide, Traveler to the windy country of Mondstadt to find his link to the past, but got a Breath of the Wild glider instead.
And his first element, Anemo, letting him make air slashes, tornadoes, and of course,
Windblade! But guess what? Traveler wasn't the only one with a power like this. Tevat was full of blessed people wielding these relic things called visions.
vision bearers can imbue their weapons and bodies with elemental power, summon items, and use a special, well, vision to perceive the elements around them.
Normally, they're limited to a single element, but
Oh,
Traveler
okay, so elemental resonation, amio, geo, extra, diadra, pyro, so purification, elemental reactions, elemental sight, item summoning, night soul's blessing, teleportation, siren and dwelling, spirit breath thorn, xenochromatic abilities. So okay, so there's
just
this
felt
element.
different. Through Paimon's guidance, he began collecting elements from mysterious statues across Tevat. No vision relic needed for him.
Each nation had a new culture, a new element, a new crisis.
And new character banners. When asked to play a sleuth for a murder case in Liyue, Traveler wasn't interested. A corpse couldn't tell him where his sis was, but he was roped in anyway and got the Geo ability to form rock constructs and eruptions of Earth.
When Aether ventured to Inazuma, he didn't care about its war with the Vision Bearers and their Archon either, until he saw the suffering caused by its tyrannical rule, and joined the resistance with electro abilities, fighting the powers that be using electric buzzsaws, thunder blades, and lightning.
He even learned to dodge lightning. Other electro users like my wife Lisa can conjure storms. No shock when my adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Yeah, Tevat has its own laws, Boomstick. Many twinks being one of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually.
Ringmaster.
Shut up, Wiz. This guy's been playing Genshin since launch.
I know everything there is to know about the Genshin meta. Either can mix
I've been
elements for
playing
different
Genshin.
reactions. Basically, big elemental combinations. Geo crystallizes materials into special barriers. Electro mixed with water stuns foes. Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and gunpowder.
Exactly, Boomstick. Using Dendro, Traveler can form plant life that, when mixed with water and lightning, makes homing beams. Yeah, run from that. With enough clever thinking and artifact farming, you can combine anything in Genshin.
Okay, we get it. Go lose another 50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale. Drop one on your lap next time you're not looking.
In Sumeru, Traveler later beat Scaramouche, an edgy catboy with multiple elements at his fingertips, all in a time loop that got repeated 168 times.
Speaking of time, Aether had control of more than just his own future. Tevat's fate fundamentally changed in ways small and grand, all through his unending willpower.
Because the Traveler was a descender, someone unbound by the land's destiny. Even this big tree that records all of the world's events had no idea he existed.
Like when he helped defy the judgment of a biblical flood in Fontaine, where he mastered Hydro for his best Cuphead impression with water bullets.
Heck, a dinosaur chose not to blow up the world just because Paimon and Traveler befriended it. If that wasn't cool enough, Traveler can, unrelated, turn into a dinosaur. Hell yeah!
What?
Yo, look at him. Wonder if I could get a dinosaur on my Genshin team.
Through these legally distinct Pokemon, Aether can fly,
Legally
dig
distinct.
through the earth, or charge foes like a Jurassic bull. He traveled across the land, searching far and wide, and finally stopped swinging that 1-star dull blade.
Instead, picking up the prototype Rancor, which he wields like a beast thanks to the sword master
Dang,
skirt.
swords, double calamity of fishery, desire, harbor, dawn, like Moonweaver's dawn, prototype. Dang, all these swords, artifact, wind glider.
Several straight days of training. What a grind!
Searching
Still,
for
Traveler's Sis kept
one.
eluding him, choosing to hang in the shadows with these Gluminati folk.
A group from
died
Conway,
when
a
I was
nation
67
cursed by the
times.
gods for messing with the abyss. Unbeknownst to Aether, his sister had already traveled to Vat in a journey that mirrored his own.
And at the end, she found... Well, we don't really know. Not yet, at least. But whatever it is got her to side with the creepy villains. Lot twist.
Eventually, Aether reached the nation of Natlan to fight in its never-ending war with the Abyss. He gained the Pyro element, learning to launch fireballs and explosions combined of flame with lightning.
He didn't
He's
just
got a
have
lot of
fancy
element stuff.
pyrotechnics.
Like, not like just
By
the basic
connecting with
elements,
the
but
people
other
there,
elements.
Traveler achieved Night Soul's Blessing, a power-up state fueled by primordial element juice, strong enough to make a blade of fire hundreds of feet long. Hell yeah, that's strong enough to take down the heart of the Abyss, which is on the level of 5-star waifus like Mawika and the Raiden
5-star.
Shogun.
An Archon who, in ages past, sliced Yashiori Island in two.
That's cool, but how about when this Venti guy threw a whole-ass mountain? According to Paimon, Traveler can level a mountain himself.
Additionally, Aether learned
Oh, you games did that. We have no clue. It does see how they do
it.
it.
Nodcry by blocking a cannon blast with enough energy to obliterate a town.
This was no ordinary cannon either. It also uses Kavaki energy, so that's a beam of light.
Through all his adventures, Aether had come to genuinely care for Tevat's people. Maybe one day he will reunite with his sister, but for now, he's fighting for a whole new world.
Yeah, that's not in the next
His
update
new
yet. They're still updating it.
You need a higher adventure rank for that.
Don't you worry, gang. I dumped all my savings into Primo Gems for this. We can't miss when those ice guys trying to kill the Traveler inevitably warm up to him. Still got it.
Oh, so that's why you're broke as shit.
To Aether, the journey has meaning. The birds of Tevat, the songs of its people, they are all part of it. Even if he's against the Abyss itself, a new dawn is somewhere just beyond the stars, and a field of flowers Lumine too loved.
All right.
The battle's about to...
So, what are the things again? What are the things of that? Power, speed, elements, and experience. Okay. So, elements, I'm gonna give elements to Traveler. I think Traveler got elements. Aang has like the 4 basic elements, but Traveler had a whole list of different things. So we're going elements with Traveler. And I'm gonna give I'm gonna go gut feeling. Experience Aang, elements Traveler. We'll get the E. So it's down to power and speed. Who is faster? Who is stronger? Or is there any ties? Who do I have in the end of the day? Traveler did seem like he could be crazy. Yeah. So, I went to plug in the headphones. Headphones aren't on the head. I think where I'm gonna go here. I don't know if this is gonna be accurate or not. I think they're gonna tie speed. I'm gonna say they're gonna tie speed, and then I'm gonna say for power, I'm giving power to Aang. I'm sticking with the prediction. I think Aang's gonna win this. So I'm scoring it. Experience, power, half a speed for Aang, and element, half a speed to Traveler. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna slightly root for Aang, but because of the Hoyo versus Riz, I'm gonna be alright if Traveler wins. And I think Aang's gonna win. I think that's final prediction, final thing. Cut, copy, paste. Let's see what they got.
Start, and if you like death battle music, some of your favorite battle tracks are coming to a collectible vinyl album.
This album features 10 tracks from our independent era, created
Nice,
by our
vinyl.
awesome composers Brandon Yates and Theirwolf.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Is that baseball? Come on, buh. Let's see it. They're just getting right into it. No build up. No why we're here. Oh.
2 elements?
Oh, the dinosaur. Bruh. Oh. Oh, he is moving.
What's going on?
Time.
I was treasure hunting for 2 minutes. Now everything is going kaboom.
Bonus Paimon versus Appa, or what about Moma?
Cool glider. Can it do this?
They're gliding. Ooh, water gun. Oh. Oh.
Come on, traveler. Get up. Never, ever, ever stop moving forward. Remember.
He's got hit. Oh.
No one fights alone.
Oh man.
For those who came before, and those who will follow.
Oh, he's.
I am
Oh.
Avatar Aang.
Oh, he's going with the Avatar state.
Airbender.
Ooh. Ooh. Ah. He's going in. Ooh. Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Take this!
Oh. Oh.
The heights and shallows.
Oh, nah. Oh, that's a.
Infinite dusks and dawns!
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, the. Oh, no.
Way to go, traveler. But does this mean no treasure?
Oh, okay. Dang. Man. Sliced it in half. 7 years. 7 years. I mean, definitely that was a good animation thing. That was a good fight. I don't know. I thought that one could go either way. I'm not that like disappointed. Like I said, I do like shout out to the Hoyoverse, but R.I.P. Aang. I saw from Traveler's side, his people not understanding anything about his side. Yeah, lots of deep convoluted lore sometimes with that. The moves Aang did well in the Avatar state were the moves in the intro, the show element. Oh, I thought that did look familiar. Yeah, I mean GG's to Traveler. You know, there's definitely some power scaling Riz there. Since Traveler won, I'm guessing he's gonna get powered. I might just switch that. I mean, if I just switch power over to him, I really think Aang might have experience. Traveler, I definitely think is gonna have elements. And I feel like they're just gonna share speed.
And my dailies are done. What a miss.
This was an interesting pairing, so let's break this down by power, experience, speed, and element.
Yeah, I'm gonna say power goes to Traveler, experience goes to Aang. They're gonna split speed, and element's gonna go to Traveler as well. Traveler is too powerful. It's a weaker version of Traveler, and high bail statements. I can remember they said Traveler yet. It's a dragon made from abyss compared to the stellar one in Traveler. You know how unfair these things are.
First up, power.
Power.
Aang and Traveler could both change the terrain of entire cities, and we're way stronger than characters that can break mountains. But at their peak, they're both tearing up islands.
Are they gonna
His
share?
avatar state made him on par with Kyoshi.
I can
who
see him
created
sharing
and moved
power.
The island of Kyoshi. Similarly, Night Soul's blessing let Ether contend with Archon-level foes like the Raiden Shogun, who split Yashiori Island in two.
With an attack that even Vision Bearers weaker than Traveler can block. So he's definitely on that level.
Kyoshi Island is over 6 miles wide and long. Kyoshi moved the island 17 miles offshore in 2 seconds, so we have everything we need to calculate the amount of kinetic energy this would require.
Turns out it's basically the same as cutting through Yashiori Island.
This is
About
sounding like it's about to be a
3,000
tie.
gigatons of TNT. So their power is tied up.
Which
Okay, so
means
time
comparing their
power.
experience is crucial.
Ether's mastered more elements than Aang, but the Avatar state gave Aang centuries of knowledge.
Yeah, I feel like
His
that's
kit
gotta go
was
to
so
Aang with
extensive in a
that.
way Ether had no real answer for.
Not to mention, Aang's training was more focused. Traveler is skilled, sure, but his training was mostly just a means to finding his sister, while Aang's journey was all about mastering elements to combat other elements.
Experience narrowly goes
Goes
to
to
Aang.
Aang.
However, another important factor to consider is speed.
In terms of mobility, both could roughly match the other.
So,
If Traveler was
Traveler's
immobilized
gonna
with
get the last
earthbending,
two.
he could just
He
dig
has
his way
to.
out as a dinosaur.
And Aang's airbending and glider meant he could easily counter Ether if he took flight.
But in terms of raw reaction speed, Traveler had it in the bag. Aang bending away lightning is crazy fast, but Traveler could dodge lightning much earlier in his journey, and now he can block that light-speed Kuvaki laser.
While lightning can move over 200,000 miles per hour, a beam of light can move 186,000 miles per second.
Over 3,000 times faster than Aang. Traveler takes speed by a landslide.
So this all came down to the elements. Who could turn the forces of nature against the other?
At first, I actually thought this was Aang's dub.
Ether's elemental control is
Low-key at very
remarkable,
first,
but
but
most
then
of
I
his
learned
attacks
about-
are projectiles, spires, and very specific implements that Aang has bent away in the past. Ether has never shown the precision or creative flexibility that we've seen with Aang's bending.
But throw in the combos of elemental reactions and the script flips. Traveler could mix not just his elements, but also Aang's in ways that Aang could not. Bending was Aang's greatest strength, but also, against Traveler, a weakness.
Because Aang usually had one or more elements around him, it gave Ether an easy access point through these combinations. When Aang used fire, Ether could use lightning to catch him in an overload. If Aang used water, Traveler's electrocharge could paralyze him, and so on.
This isn't just a gameplay thing. Genshin characters like the lovely Lisa canonically say this is how the elements work.
And unlike Aang, Ether has fought multiple people who can use multiple elements. The longer the fight went on, the more Ether would trip Aang up with these combinations, some of which Aang could not bend.
Aang could redirect lightning, sure, but what about electro buzzsaws, or an electrified tornado, or dendroblasts of pure plant energy?
The Kavaki shield especially gave Ether a strong defense to fall back on. Since it was made of pure light, Aang had no way to remove it outside of brute force.
By comparison, Aang's wind barrier wouldn't block Traveler's elements. It would actually merge with them and create more combos that would target Aang himself. Not a great situation to be in.
And since Ether's powers came from external earthly sources, like those statues, Aang could not depower him with energy bending, even if he theoretically overcame Ether's willpower.
Willpower that is strong enough to alter the fate of the entire world. Sorry, Aang, but elements goes to the Traveler, cinching his victory.
So I had the right score of like 2.5 to 1.5. I had power and speed flipped. But I was right with the E ones. I got element and experience to who and who. So alright. GG's to
Either way
Traveler.
you cut it, he was in his element.
The winner is
Okay.
the Traveler, Ether.
Traveler, GG's. You know, a sad day for Aang. Fight was pretty good. I liked it. You know, obviously, just like minor, very, very minor disappointment. Like I do like. Well, I don't like Genshin. Because I don't play it. I played like twice, but I like I said, I like the Hoyo verse. So Just a little silver lining, I guess. But yeah, GG's. So now, what's next? Well, okay, the only one I think that's left and I know of is Light versus Columbo. And other than Geats and Nero, but I know Geats and Nero isn't. We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. I know we're not ready yet because Shotaro would not hold his excitement in, and he'd be like, "We need a PSP." So I'm not feeling Light versus Columbo because this is like a Patreon thing, or whatever it was. I don't think they're gonna do two back to back. I think they're gonna do one that's like just like different, like a newer one. Who do I want? Obviously, I'm gonna say this to the end of life, but I would love to see Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus versus Disney Dinosaur Carnotaurus. I would love to see that one, but I know that one's gonna happen. A realistic one though that I think could happen. Well, I actually I don't think it's happened yet, but I'd love to see someone from Honkai get in this, like Kiana or someone like someone is from Honkai or Star Rail. Someone get on that. These are hard to get. The world is your oyster if you don't go from like any like sort of hintage. This is random. This is random. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm gonna say Freerin versus Scarlet Witch from Marvel. That I know that's random, but just to guess something to start the things turning. And both combats are not from anime. Okay, so we're not dealing with any anime this time. Okay. I'm gonna say I don't know why my mind is going to like horror icons again for whatever reason. I know they did Jason versus Michael, but I almost think they're gonna do someone like I don't know what. What is happening, guys? I didn't see a bunch of spam. What are we doing? But don't say the thing. I don't know what's happening. Don't say the thing. Okay, so I'm sorry. I gotta get this moving. I'm sorry. I want to say Ghostface from Scream. I have no idea why. It's just like a guy in a mask. So like I can't think of something. I'm trying to think of like a good match. I can't think of good match. Like I need to think of something that's good, like possible, and like even like be a random guess. Okay, this is just I'm abandoning the Scream thing. I just for the sake of trying to move longer, I'm blanking. I'm gonna. I don't know why I'm saying this. This is by the way. I'm gonna say Kane from Digital Circus versus Baymax from Big Hero 6. Second, they both combats originate from animated media in terms of their screen presence. Animated media in terms of their screen presence is a very interesting thing to add. Could have been around before animation, but they are known for their animated screen presence. Bonus hint, not Marvel or DC. Ooh, okay, I got something. I think. Wait, both characters? Both characters are in terms of their stream presence? Have they, are they both characters? Okay. I gotta go with this because it's the only thing I really know. I just gotta think. I have at least one. I gotta think of a second one. Actually, okay. I think I got it. I think I got the guess. I will more so. One of them is more of a guess. I could be very wrong. I'm gonna go with a Ninja Turtle. We'll go with Michelangelo, just because that's the one time. Michelangelo versus Samurai Jack. That's my guess. Michelangelo versus Samurai Jack. Both characters are created by the same company but are different franchises. Okay. Different. Okay, same company, different franchises. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. What we got? We got they could be both. I'm for same. So both originate from a man. I mean, in terms of their screen presence, but could have been something before that. And then they are from the same company, but different medias, right? Different franchises. Is Looney Tunes? Is that like the same? Is it like another one of them things? Like, is it? Are we talking? Is it like a Disney thing? I'm gonna say okay. I got another guess. This is like out. I'm making this off of like not the most knowledge. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Mulan versus Merida from Brave. Character originated from a toy line. A toy line. G.I. Joe? Someone G.I. Joe versus huh. Both characters originated from a toy line, but same company. Toy line? Oh man. Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty versus what Gummo or something. I don't know if that's a real guess, but like I'm blanking. Would it be a Milo Pony thing? A Milo Pony? I think they originated, but what I don't know. I don't know matchups for that. If that'd even be a death battle. I think that's my final guess. Yeah, I'm stumped. I'm stumped. I'm not sure about one of them. I know you do not know one of the fighters. Okay. We got. I definitely don't know one of the fighters. Originate from a toy line. And created by the same company, different franchise. They're present. They're known for animated screen time. Their presence. Not Marvel, DC. Come from animated media. Okay, last and final. Both red. One of having a second day. Okay. Last and final hint. I think I finally thought of something that matches those criterias. I almost said Lego Movie Emmett, but no, I got it. I'm gonna say, since you're saying both red, I'm gonna say Red Bionicle versus Red Lego Ninjago. Go with Red Bionicle versus Red Lego Ninjago. That is my final. That's all I got. Toy line. I definitely don't know one of them. I don't really know either of them. I don't know. Maybe it's something. I don't know. Final guess. Locking it in. That's my guess. Red Lego Ninjago versus Red Bionicle. That's all I got. So we'll see. Let's see it here. What is next time on the Death Battle?
Okay, I'm ready for my cameo. Oh.
Who are you?
Next time on
Next
Death
Death
Battle.
Oh. Rick. Bro. There's no way I pulled that out. There's no way. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was stuck. I realized that I thought I thought of I was gonna say Emmett versus Bob the Builder just as a throwaway. I was like, no, like there's something, maybe something same company. So Lego Emmett versus something Lego. I thought, was there Lego anything like Batman? No, and then I was like, Lego Ninjago. I was like, wait a minute, and then I was like. It's like, wait a minute, maybe there's something there. And then I thought of the hint. Oh, low-key, the hints were really good. The hints got me there pretty much. I don't know if I don't think I would have got that regard without the hints, but those helped me. I'm aware of both of those characters' existence, but I don't like know them like that. You gotta watch 15 plus seasons of watch a movie and a game. Well, interesting next one. I think I'm gonna have to go on a little bit more of a hiatus of Death Battle, but we'll be back when I can watch it again. And yeah, splendid times.